Welcome to Chemistry Sea World.
Hi friends, welcome to Chemistry Sea World. Today we are going to be discuss that covalent bond. So in the previous video we will discuss about ionic bond, and today we are going to be discuss that covalent bond. Before going to enter into the covalent bond, please do subscribe my channel and share videos, like the videos. Thank you. So in a covalent bond, so first of all, if you go for a definition of covalent bond, so the covalent bond is involved in the sharing of electrons. So it was introduced by Lewis. It was introduced by Lewis in the year of 1916. So by sharing of electrons between the two atoms. So simply we can say that covalent bond is nothing but the mutual sharing of electrons between the two atoms is called as covalent bond. So if the covalent bond is formed by sharing of electrons either 1, 2 or 3, so on so on. So covalent bond is actually introduced by Lewis and in the year of 1916. So covalent bond is going to be having the two types. They are polar covalent bonds and second one is non-polar covalent bonds. Non-polar covalent bonds. Non-polar covalent bonds. So let me go with one example, then we can understand very clearly which is polar and which is non-polar. So let me take an example of a formation of hydrogen molecule H2. If you are going to be a formation of hydrogen molecule, there are two atoms of hydrogens and it is going to be combined by chemical bonding. How they are going to be combined, we are going to be get to know that. First, for the hydrogen electronic configuration is 1s1 and we are going to be represented with one atom with the dot and another atom with the cross are going to be. When these two atoms are going to be combine each other, they are going to be both atoms are going to be involved in the bond formation and both the atoms are going to be share one electron each and they form a bond formation between the two atoms. How they are going to be see that hydrogen dot plus hydrogen cross. When they are going to be combine each other, they are going to be form a bond in between the two atoms. Generally we are going to be represent a bond in between the two atoms by arrow, like a small dash we can going to be represented. So if it is going to be shared one electron, so we are going to be with a single bond. If it is going to be shared by two electrons, we are going to be shared mentioned with the double bond. If it is going to be shared with three electrons, we are going to be mentioned with the triple bond. Generally the covalent bond is involved in the multiple bonds. So single bond, double bond, triple bond. So for example H bond H, O double bond O, N triple bond N. These are the formations of what you can call covalent bond between the two atoms H2, O2 and N2 is the example. For H2 is the example for single bond, O2 is example for double bond and N2 is example for triple bond. If you observe here, there are two atoms which are going to be taken here, they are similar. That means they do not have any electronegativity difference. Here if we are going to be observed that electronegativity is 0, so in between the two atoms, so then we can say that a pure covalent bond or non-polar covalent bond. So simply we can say that non-polar covalent bond, we can define that if the covalent bond is formed between the two similar atoms and if there is no electronegativity difference 0 and if electronegativity becomes 0, then we can call it as non-polar covalent bond. Non-polar covalent bond is also called as pure covalent bond. Pure covalent bond. So these are the examples. Okay, na? H2, O2, N2, Cl2, H2, okay, F2. These are the examples of what we can call pure covalent bond or non-polar covalent bond. So let me go with an example of another bond formation of HCl. Can I take that HCl now? Bond formation of HCl. If you are going to be taking the bond formation of HCl, how it is going to be formed, we will see that. So if you are going to be see that these two atoms, there is some slightly electronegativity difference. So chlorine have 3.5 electronegativity and hydrogen have 2.1. If it is have that electronegativity difference is 1.4, it is less than 1.7, so we can get it covalent bond. So actually if it is there more than 1.7, we are going to be get to know that that is a ionic bond. So we already learned in the ionic bond topic. And if it is going to be taken the HCl, H is going to be have that hydrogen configuration, sorry, electronic configuration 1s1, and it is going to be represented with a cross. Okay, right. Chlorine having that electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p5. There are 7 valence electrons. We are going to be represent with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 atoms. So when they are going to undergoing for bond formation, here chlorine atom is going to be contribute 1 electron and hydrogen atom is also going to be contribute 1 electron, and both are going to be form a covalent bond in between the two atoms. Hydrogen is going to be give that crash and chlorine is also going to be gives that 1 electron. They both are going to be form a what you can call covalent bond. So this is called a bond which is going to be formed between the chlorine and hydrogen atoms. So what are the remaining will be there? No, they are called as lone pairs. So which are going to be not involved in the bond formation and which are going to be paired on the atom. So that we can call it as lone pair of electrons is going to be called. And this will be which is going to be involved, that is called bond pair, we can say the BP. This will be LP, lone pairs. Okay, I think see that if you are going to be observe here, hydrogen and chlorine, they are having electronegativity difference, and meanwhile when they are going to be form a bond formation in between the two atom, chlorine is more electronegative here, and so it is going to be pair of electron is going to be pulled towards itself. Then what happen, it is going to be get slightly negative charge, and when it is going to be have the slightly positive charge. And if you are going to be observe this, having that somewhat ionic character indicates, and that will be learned in the next topic called as polarization. So that we are going to be discuss that, and this is about covalent bond. There are two types of covalent bonds, one is polar covalent bond, another one is non-polar covalent bond. Okay, have you understood this one? So okay, let me go with the characteristics of covalent compounds. If you observe here characteristics of covalent compounds, they have physical state. Generally they are in the liquid state or gaseous state somewhat. So they do not occur in the form of gaseous state. If you are going to be observed that melting and boiling point, they have low melting and boiling points. Low melting and boiling points. Low melting and boiling points. And if you are going to be observed that solubility, they are soluble in non-polar solvents, non-polar solvents, non-polar solvents. If you observe that non-polar solvents like CCl4 and alcohol, we are going to be call it as alcohol. So these are going to be called. So generally they are very poor conductors of what you can call heat and electricity, and they are also involved in the molecular reactions. They are not involved in ionic reactions. And if you are going to be observed that isomerism, so they undergo for stereoisomerism, so due to non-directional bonds. So they do not have any direction, due to non-directional bonds, so they are going to be involved in the isomerism. So thank you one and all. If you are going to be really like the video, so please do subscribe my channel and tell to your friends, and if you please do subscribe my channel. Thank you one and all.